Craig Durr, Chief Analyst, founder of Collab Collective.
How are you
Got
doing?
that right?
Yeah.
I'm very good, thank you.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much for joining us.
I appreciate you coming all the way over the pond just to talk to me, right?
Well,
no, not really. I understand that. Okay.
Okay, cool. Now, you are doing a lot of research and analysis in the area of AI. What do you think people at a big gathering like this are least likely to understand about where we're at with AI currently?
Well, that is such a hotbed topic right now. You know what I'm finding talking to people is the most successful AI right now is what I call boring AI. It is AI, Monday morning AI. It's when you get out of bed and it just takes place. And this is why. The challenge I think is taking place is this. It's expensive to get started right now. You got a CEO initiative that says, what is our AI strategy? CTO says, I'm going to go off and do this, but CFO says, oh, you better have a return on that investment. So things that I'm seeing that are working interestingly well are in adjacencies like call center and contact centers, because you can do things like measure resolution time on a call. So as opposed to being this elusive productivity gains or something like that, there's something that's measurable, because it's time-based as well too. So there's small things like that are an example that help these CTOs talk to CFOs and do that. So it's boring use cases. But I think the evolution is going to take place. Our mutual friend Ilya called it the iPhone moment, but there's going to be this surge where it's not going to be this ROI specific to that technology, because it's going to be like internet access. We're going to have to do it as a level of employing people as well too. So I think the biggest misconception right now, understandable, is driving specific ROI around AI use cases. Ultimately, you need to think about that as an enabling platform to achieve goals, not in its goal in itself, I think.
Okay, that's very interesting. So boring AI is where you start, not grandiose, not just ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Some useful, boring application in the middle. So that's great. Now, you cover both UC and Pro AV. You have a very interesting background.
Right.
What do you see happening in terms of AI on the Pro AV side, particularly say around agentic AI?
I was fortunate to host a panel here at this conference at InfoComm, and people are nervous. They don't know how it impacts our business or what they need to know, and frankly, there is still a learning curve. In that Pro AV space, I think one of the key ideas is a lot of these AI solutions need to be informed by data. And I think what people are looking to do is collect data that's taking place first in the meeting rooms and then in the offices as well too. The analogy is you start having the eyes and ears and even the brains on the edge in the room. And that's the domain of Pro AV. They're going to be managing the devices that are putting in. They're going to be the ones that actually also going to manage the network connectivity and making sure they're reporting back centrally and what have you. So as nervous as it is, and they might be saying, well, what do I need to do around agentic AI, generative AI? The first thing is they are the keepers of those devices that are collecting the data that those enterprises need to have to help start with those situations. So I think that's an important part of that, understanding that and how that data flows. Ultimately, their daily work life should also be improved. So independent of that, that's where AI is supposed to be helping you and I being more productive, being more efficient in what we're doing. And that's the key thing. I think what we have to make sure we do on the people side, just to the humanistic side, there's this great thing people are talking about driving effectiveness or efficiency. I am all about the idea of making sure it is not just efficient, but effective. So the idea of efficiency is really crazy because it's saying like people leave that and think, well, you're asking me to do more in the same amount of time. You want me more efficient. You don't want me, fixing 5 rooms. You want me fixing 20 rooms in the same day thing. You can't do that, but you want to make people more effective. You want to make sure that they're able to troubleshoot, resolve much easier. You want to make sure that they are able to proactively enable things and not put a strain on the human element of that.
You have a gift for answering my next question.
Uh-oh.
In your at the same time as answering the one that I've just asked.
Okay.
So I was going to ask about, do people in AV need to be learning to use AI tools on interesting projects themselves, or is the role at least as much about providing the AV ears and eyes that you've spoken about in the meeting rooms that enable AI applications without necessarily being, agentic AI or generative AI tools themselves?
Yes, it is interesting. I'm going to give you my pondering look for a moment here. I'm going to pause on this. Okay, you got that? Well, we're talking about this both. Not only is this pro AV community the ones that are enabling AI that's taking place throughout the enterprise, them in themselves are a great target for some of the value that AI can deliver. So we have to think that as two different things. That's pro AV as delivering, again, like I said, the data, the information that's needed around the office space, around what's taking place in those environments, whether it be large group spaces, individual spaces, what's taking place across smart buildings, for example, to become very important as well. That enables larger corporate initiatives that feed into facilities, corporate real estate, IT, even HR, who's coming in, how efficient are they, where are they sitting down, things like that. But in itself, almost every industry, every profession has to start thinking about how this groundswell of information, AI capabilities, is going to be changing what we're doing. You and I, in the element of how we're approaching media, we have to also consider what we're doing as well and how AI can make us more efficient and not be surpassed by it, that we're adding value still.
So in that, when you were speaking just now, you mentioned some other areas where AI could be particularly useful, particularly around gathering data, building management systems. Do you think, in some way, the advent of AI strengthens the case for the traditional pro AV systems integrator to become either a broader workplace technology integrator themselves, combining pro AV and UC, or just to work more closely in partnership with other integrators in related fields?
Well, that's something that's been happening in our industry, independent of AI. That question about having pro AV expertise within the enterprise, are they starting to be kind of falling under IT organizations as well too, that are looking for stories of like simple to deploy, simple to use, and things like that, where this pro AV information, their expertise in audio, acoustics, and things like that, that's how I see it in the space. Sometimes it doesn't feel valued by those IT groups as well, and it makes it difficult. I think it's not just someone wearing a badge that I'm pro AV, but it's also that person evolving to what's taking place. And if they start thinking about themselves, their career, what their value they're bringing to their employer, their enterprises, it has to be more than just the audio and the visual acoustics or attributes that are important. Start thinking about in terms of what's taking place in, again, data in the environment. It's almost as if they should be environmental experts of what's taking place and how technology is enabling it and making it more efficient. I keep using that word. Making it more enjoyable for the users.
Got it.
Did I kind of dance around that one a little bit there, or what?
No, you got it. That's good.
Because you know what, this is a tough interview. You've got me pinned here in the side. I'm feeling a little bit trapped right now. If I don't give a right answer, I might not get out of here.
Okay. Now, that's AI. You also, we just discussed this, you're also doing some work with the AVIXA Foundation.
Oh, yeah.
What are you doing there?
So I've been very fortunate in this last year that I was brought in on the board of the AVIXA Foundation. Last year there was establishment of a fund under a gentleman who passed away, Brad Souza, and Brad was very passionate about enabling people in our industry. So this has been focused on fundraising and then awarding grants for people that help with either enabling people, partners, or the opportunity to expand our industry. Because one of the biggest challenges I see personally right now is you don't go to university and have a formal track to become a professional audiovisual expert as right now. People seem to kind of fall into it in a lot of ways. But if you think about what's taking place, there's a lot of cool stuff going on. We're talking about how it's an integral gateway profession for what needs to be taking place in AI. When I was at ISE in Barcelona, some of the light mapping that's taking place. These are beautiful experiences. You start thinking about what's taking place in terms of pro audio, concert spaces, those type of things. It's a lot. It's a fun stuff. But how do you get individuals, whether it be young, youth, interested in doing that? So that's what the foundation is trying to do. So we awarded our first 3 grants this first year. They were great receptions. The one that I had opportunity to present was called Tech 25. They initiate these programs here in the United States. There are 16-week programs that introduce teenagers to broadcast and concert technical roles as well too. And it's a really great thing to watch these eyes light up, how these kids start seeing how they can play with the equipment and the technology and create these experiences, which is kind of fun.
And if you had a teenager yourself, would you recommend that they go into Pro AV?
You know what I would? Then they would finally be able to say, what does Dad do for a living? Because they still don't know right now. It's like, you work in conference rooms, don't you still? I think there's a lot of great opportunity there, right? The market's expanding. We are, despite what people think about return to the office, we are still going to be leveraging shared spaces for commercial usage, whether it be for corporate needs, entertainment needs. There's a lot of fun activity there, I think. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Craig Durr, thank you very much for joining us to talk about AI and your work with the AVIXA Foundation.
I appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.